Hello my dear students, welcome to the next class of basic electrical engineering course. So as we are completed yesterday what is the Ohm's law and what is the applications we are going to discuss, that is what yesterday I explained. So before going to that, we require some of the electrical, that is the various elements are forming the electrical circuit. So let us see what are the various elements in detail, then we will go for the KCL and KVL, then we will see what is the series reduction and parallel reduction. With that so maximum theory part of this part A will be completed, right? So as we discussed yesterday, so that is in the last class we are discussed, we have taken various elements here. So now we want to see what is that various elements. By connecting a various elements we are forming a one electrical circuits. So various elements we are already classified it as, one is the active elements, another is the passive elements. That is what yesterday we are discussed. So active elements are also called as the sources, that is also over, and passive elements are also called as the sinks. Sinks are also called as the loads. So let us see in detail. So what is the sources is available? If you see the sources available here, so majorly we are having two types of sources. One is the DC sources, that is a one classification. Another is the AC sources. In this DC sources only we are having voltage sources, current sources. Here also we are having voltage sources, current sources. So like this we have some classified. Another classification is also I already discussed yesterday, that is in the last class. So that is, one is independent sources and dependent sources. So this is a different types of classification of active elements. Coming to the passive elements, there is no that much of classifications are there. So R, L, C, very simple, and it may be a combination of either RL, RC or RLC, like this. So this is a combination we are going to see. Now let us discuss in detail about the active elements and the sources. So as we told, we are having DC sources. Let us start with the DC sources. How the DC sources will be represented? So the DC sources will be, examples are either DC generators, batteries. These are the examples for DC sources. So whenever you are representing the DC sources, so it will comes two types. One is voltage source, how to represent the voltage source. Another is the how to represent the current source. Here whenever you are representing the DC source, so here if you can observe here, so the DC sources normally will be represented like this. In the circle we will have the plus and symbol minus, like this. And if they are taking the batteries, they will represent like this. This is the representation, this is the positive polarity and this is the negative polarity. Whenever you come for the current will be, it is same in AC sources as well as the DC sources. See, this arrow is indicating, this arrow mark is indicating that, so that is the plus sign there, and here it is the minus sign. You remember, this is a very important concept. So plus sign, that arrow side is indicating the plus sign and below it is minus, right? This is the representation of the DC sources. Next you take the AC sources. Whenever you have taken the AC sources, so AC sources are also voltage sources will be there and current sources will be there. So how the normally AC sources will be represented? AC sources will be represented like this. In the circle we are having a sinusoidal signal like this. Okay, and with frequency they will represent. Whenever you take the current is, it is same, I already told, the symbolic representation will be same. So this is of representation of the AC sources and DC sources. So now what is the meaning of this independent sources? What is the meaning of this independent sources, and what is the meaning of dependent sources? This is of very important. So how to identify this independent sources and dependent sources? So independent sources, what we are represented here, these are all known as the independent sources. So dependent sources, normally they will represent in the rhombus box like this. So like this they will represent in the rhombus box. So that means, what is the meaning of these dependent sources? They are depending on the other quantity of the electrical circuit. For example, so let us take the different classification of the dependent sources. So if you take the dependent sources, we have four major classifications are there. That is voltage dependent. So just I will write first one, voltage dependent voltage source, like this. In short form, VD, VS they will write, voltage dependent voltage source. Next, voltage dependent current source. Okay. Next, current dependent current source, that is CDCS. Next, current dependent voltage source. Like this we are having different types of dependent sources. All these dependent sources, you should remember how to identify these dependent sources is, so if you see this sources will be which are represented in rhombus box, they are called as the dependent sources. This is the introduction about the sources what we are going to use normally in the electrical circuits. Now we will see, so as I told in the last class, I will show the diagram of the torchlight. If you see this torchlight, I think so, are you able to see now, right? If you see the torchlight, so see here, so what is there? It is there in the torchlight. If you observe here, so what are the sources? First we are having a cells, this is are called as the sources. So these are all, these two are the, what is that, sources. So now finally we are having a switch there, okay, between that switch is acting like a mediator. Okay, so there is a protection case, that is for entirely protection is there for the entirely for the torchlight. Next we are having, see there is a connection will be there inside of this if you observe, this is a connection will be there, connection wires between these sources. And so what is the sink here? The lamp is consuming the power, so this is the, what is that, we are taking it as the, that is the sink. So this is of one of the example what I explained yesterday. So this is of diagram. So we have the filament terminal also in the lamp, right? This is of explanation of the torchlight, and this is one of the example of the electrical circuit, right? We will see, yesterday I have given brief introduction about the resistance. What is the meaning of the resistance, on what factors it is going to depends upon the resistance. Let us revise once again. So resistance can be defined as V by I, that is from the Ohm's law, and resistance can be defined as rho L by A also, that is depending upon the equipments. Next, resistance will be also depending upon the temperature, that is R0 is the initial temperature, 1 plus alpha naught into T. So where it is the T is the temperature. Like this we are having a different formulas for the resistance, that is what we have seen yesterday. Now let us take, before going to, so as I told, we will start the KCL, KVL. Before going to that, we will see what is the important terminology. Some terminology we are going to use very frequently in the analysis of this electrical circuits. So that terminology is very important. We will see that terminology. What is that first terminology we are going to see? So first we are going to see what is the meaning of node or junction. Normally in the lower classes they will call it as the junction. So normally we can call it as the junction or node. So actually it is a connection of two or more elements. It is a connection of two or more elements. So connection of two or more elements, that point we can call it as the node or junction. So and you can identify at that node for analysis current division should be there. Current division should be there for this analysis. Next, when you come for the another terminology, that is the branch. So what is the meaning of the branch? So branch is a connection of, so whenever you are connecting two or more elements, for example like this, if you are connecting two resistors, so this is of one branch. So branch can be defined as number of elements connected between two nodes. So this is of two nodes here. So whenever you are connecting two nodes, between two nodes, here is also a node will be there. Between two nodes you are connecting one element, one or two or elements you can connect. Two elements means like this you can connect, that is of parallel. So whenever you are connecting a one or two elements between two nodes, that is known as the one of the branch. So here how many branches are there? Here branches are, this is the branch 1 we can take, this is the branch 2, like this we can take. So that is the meaning of the branch. Next, what is the meaning of loop? Loop is also very important. What is the meaning of the loop? Loop is a closed part of the circuit. Actually loop is the closed part of circuit. This is of closed part of the circuit. Like this is important terminology. And one more thing is a reference node. One more we can use it as a reference node. What is the meaning of the reference node is, so which will refer for entire circuit. Entire circuit we are taking it as one reference. Refer entire circuit we are taking one node, that is known as a reference node. That potential at that reference node is how much? The potential at that reference node is, that is the voltage is 0 we are considering, that is known as the reference node. So this is a important terminology what we are going to use for the analysis of KCL and KVL, and we will see what is the series and parallel reduction today. Right, let us move on. We will start with what is the KCL. What is the KCL? KCL is, that is defined as Kirchhoff's current law. KCL defined as Kirchhoff's current law. So he has defined the some two laws, that is one of the important law is KCL and KVL, Kirchhoff's current law. So what is the definition of this Kirchhoff's current law? The algebraic sum of currents meeting at a junction or node in an electric circuit is 0. So once again, the algebraic sum of the currents meeting at a node or junction in an electric circuit is 0. So let us consider one simple example. This is of one node we are taking. This is one node we are taking. So if you take the node, so let us take the currents. Some of the currents are coming like this, like this, like this. So let us take the current directions also. This is of assumption we are taking. So this is of I1. I1 is entering. Next, this is of I5. I5 is entering. next I4 is leaving from the junction, next this I3 is entering, next I2 is leaving. So what is this? This point is either node or junction, we can take. So whenever you see either node or junction, at that node or junction the currents are entering and currents are leaving. So let us write what is the statement it is given: algebraic sum of currents entering into the node is equals to algebraic sum of currents leaving from that node. This is one type of definition of the KCL. So what I defined previously, the algebraic sum of the currents meeting at a junction. So that is also you take algebraic sum of currents meeting at a junction or node in an electric circuit is 0. That is a one more definition we have taken. So you can define this KCL in two ways, no problem. This is also correct definition and this is also correct definition, no problem, you can write anything, right? So let us take, so I will write two equations. First I will write this for below equation. So sum of the currents, see here I1 is entering, that is we are taking it as positive. Algebraic sum of all currents, I am taking minus I2 because the I2 current is leaving. So for leaving we are taking it as a negative. Next plus I3 is entering, that is also we are taking it as a positive. Next whenever you see I4 is leaving, that is what we are taking it as a negative. And finally I5 is entering, that is we are taking it as I5 is equals to 0. So this is the definition what it is explaining here. So the algebraic sum of meeting at one junction in an electric circuit is 0. So that is all, entire it is 0. Otherwise you see this first statement. So this is the first statement, this is the second statement. For second statement I have given equation. Let us see the first equation, first statement equation. So currents entering, that is I1 is entering, next I3 is entering, next I5 is entering, but what is the leaving currents? I2 is leaving plus I4 is leaving. You see the statements, this is of second statement, this is of first statement, they both are valid equations or not. So whenever you have the algebraic sum of the currents meeting at one junction in an electric circuit is 0, or algebraic sum of the currents entering into the node or junction is equals to algebraic sum of the currents leaving from that node, that is both are valid statements only. Now this is about the KCL. So let us take another one is KVL. What is a KVL? That is Kirchhoff's voltage law. This is the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's voltage law is defined. How it is defined, that is also we will see. what is the definition of this Kirchhoff's voltage law? First you see, listen, the algebraic sum of the all the voltages in any closed circuit or mesh or loop is 0. The algebraic sum of the all voltages in any closed circuit or mesh or loop is 0. So that is the definition of KVL. That is the definition of KVL. So whenever you see here, whenever you see that is the definition of KVL. So let us take one of the example. I will write the statement here first. The algebraic sum of voltages in any closed circuit or mesh or loop is 0. Let us take one simple example for this. See here, just I am taking a closed path like this, having connection of 2 or 3 resistors. The algebraic sum of the voltages which are present in the closed loop. So first of all we will understand, let us take these elements are also, I will represent first elements R1, R2, R3, then let us represent the drops here, that is V1, that is V2, that is V3, and this is a voltage source and the current is flowing. See, with this example we can explain what is the series connection of the resistors, and with the example of KCL we can explain what is the parallel circuit also. We will explain later. First you listen here. So what is the meaning of this KVL we will complete, then we will go for the series and parallel reduction, right? So whenever you are connected like this, what is the statement? It is saying that the voltage, see here, so plus symbol and minus symbol, and what is the meaning of loop here? Whenever you are starting from this point what I am highlighting now, and once again you are coming to the same point by crossing this point. So you are coming to the current is going like this and coming to the same point. This is called as the one loop here. This is called as the one loop. So you are starting from this point, that is a point A, and you are reaching once again the point A. This is known as the voltage. So the algebraic sum of all voltages in any closed circuit. See here, the algebraic voltages is, you see this, if you see the current direction, the current is, before current is like this, and here the currents are like this. Here also current is like this, the current is flowing like this, and it is coming to the path will be like this. I am indicating the direction of the current. So this is the path for the current. So if you observe here, the voltage drops. So all the voltage drops here, plus, I will explain why I am writing minus V2 plus minus V3 is equals to 0. Like this. Why you are represented with that sign is plus V1, instead of plus V1 we are written minus V1, instead of plus V2 we are written minus V2, instead of plus V3 instead. So what I am taking my conventional direction in explanation is, if you see the resistor, if the current is flowing from positive terminal to negative terminal, I am considering this as the drop, that is the drop or loser we are considering. He is a losing case, he is what we are representing. So he previously he got good marks in the previous classes, now he is getting a very less marks. That means he is a loser or gainer, he is a loser. That's why we are, for representation of loser we are taking the minus V1. So here also if you observe, V2 also, he is also a loser, V3 is also a loser. But when you come for this V, so V is traveling, you see here the current is traveling from in this direction, that is from negative to positive. So that means previously he got very less marks, now he is getting good marks, that means he is a gainer. So he is a gainer. So for gainer we are representing with the plus sign, for drop we are representing with a negative sign, that is a loser, he is a loser. For loser we are representing with a negative sign, for gainer we are representing with a positive sign. So we can write in the other form also the above equation, this equation you can write in the other form also. We can write it as V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3, that is also we can write. So this is also one of the valid statement, and this is also one of the valid statement. This is about the KCL and KVL, that is the KCL and KVL definitions. Now we will see what is the series circuit and what is the parallel circuit. Let us start with the series circuits. So what is the meaning of this series circuits and what is the property of this series circuit? We have to see the property of series circuits. So whenever you are connecting the elements are like this. So let us take the example of KVL only, just I am taking the example of KVL, you see here. So we can get the R equivalent also by having like this. So this is of one of the example I am considering. One resistor R1, R2, R3, and it is having the voltage drops across this, that is V1 plus V2 plus of minus V3. Then here the voltage source plus of minus, and the current is like this, the direction of the current is like this. So first we will write what are the individual voltage drops. How to write the individual voltage drops? So how you will write the individual voltage drops? That for that we will use the, what is that, Ohm's law. Ohm's law is defining that V is equals to I into R. So first I will write what is the voltage source. Voltage source V is equals to I into R equivalent. Because why I am writing R equivalent is because I will use this R equivalent for the reduction technique, right? Next let us write the voltage drop here. V1 is equals to, the same current is flowing but R1 is different. V2 is equals to I into R2, and V3 is equals to I into R3. These are different voltage drops you can observe across the different elements in a closed path. Now once again see the KVL. What the KVL is defined? KVL is defined as V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3 we have taken. Let us substitute these equations in this equation. Now you see here I into, just I am substituting I into R equivalent, I into R1 plus I into R2 plus I into R3. So as you observe on the left hand side and right hand side, I is common, just I am cancelling all the I's on left hand side and right hand side. So what is the R equivalent you are getting? R equivalent you are getting it as R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is of R equivalent whenever you are connected all the resistors are in series. So if you are connecting n resistors in series, simply you have to add R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus so on plus Rn. So n resistors are connected in series, just you have to add. So two important points you have to observe here in the series circuit. First is, if you observe, the current is common. This is the property. Current is common in case of series circuits. Voltage is divided here. So these are very important points. So if you remember this, you can identify voltage is divided, that is of voltage is divided but current is common or same. So the current flowing in the elements is same but voltage is divided in the case of the series circuits. So R equivalent whenever you are having a series circuits is simply summation of that all resistors R1 plus R2 plus R3 so on and Rn. That is the these two are the property of series circuits. You have to remember. This is of I have taken KVL and Ohm's law. So the loop analysis or mesh analysis, we can take it as it is a summation of Ohm's law plus KVL. That's all. So by application of these two, you are going to get what is the R equivalent. That is what we have seen now. R equivalent you are going to get by application of these two. First I applied the Ohm's law, then I applied the KVL. So this entire analysis are called as the, what is that? This is called as the loop analysis. So this is a very important formulas you have to remember for the external examination purpose. This is of one important formula you have to remember. Let us go for next. So whenever you have seen, now we will see what is the parallel circuits. So if you see the parallel circuits, what is the definition of the parallel circuits? So just I am taking a simple example of parallel circuit. Here it is a 2 resistors only, which is of very common. So we will take the 2 resistors first, then I will go for the 3 resistors also. First for example, just I am taking a 2 resistors like this and connecting a voltage source like this. So whenever you have the sources R1, here resistor R2, next this is of voltage V. Now current is like this. After coming to this point, the current is dividing or not, you can observe here. So after coming to this point A, the current is divided, that is I1, this is I2, and here the voltage drop will be same. Now once again use the Ohm's law here. Ohm's law we will write first. Ohm's law. So what is Ohm's law? V is equals to I into R equivalent. V is equals to I into R equivalent. So V1 we can write it as V only, I1, V2 we can write it as V only, but I1 is different, I2 is different. These are all two different here. Okay. Now you apply, see here current is dividing, that's why we are going for what? So you have to go for Kirchhoff's current law. It's not the voltage law. Current is dividing here, current law. Their voltage is dividing in the previous circuit. Kirchhoff's current law. So if you apply the KCL at this node, at this point A, you can get the analysis. So here I am writing from the Ohm's law. We can write what is I. I we can write it as V by R equivalent, and I1 we can write it as V by R1, I2 we can write it as V by R2. So if you apply the KCL at node A, so current is entering is I and the current leaving is I1 plus I2. So let us take that currents. So let us substitute these equations, these 3 equations in this equation. So V by R equivalent, that is equals to V by R1 plus V by R2. So if you observe here clearly, what is the common here? V is common, that's why I am cancelling all these things. So we are going to get 1 by R equivalent is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So whenever you have this 1 by R equivalent, we can write it as 1 by R equivalent, we can write it as R1 plus R2 divided by R1 R2. Just I am taken LCM. So what is the R equivalent in this case? R equivalent is R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Like this you can write. This is a very important formula of the R equivalent in parallel circuit. So you have to remember, for two resistors are connected in series means you have to take this formula. So R1 R equivalent is equals to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. And you will get the doubt, sir, what is the equivalent when I connected 3 resistors? How many number of resistors are you connected? So if you connect, for example, 3 resistors, what you have to write? Simply 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, like this. So if I connect n resistors, so what you have to write? R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 dash 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 up to 1 by Rn. So you have to add inversely with respect to resistance values in the case of the parallel circuit. So if you see the properties of the parallel circuit, so current is divided here. If you see, current is divided, voltage is same, voltage is same in the case of this parallel circuit. So that is what I represented here. The voltages are same but the currents are divided. That is the property of the parallel circuit. Why I am explaining this property? By seeing the properties or by remembering the properties, you can identify whether those elements are connected either in series or in parallel. If you have the current is divided means definitely they are connected in parallel. If the voltage is divided means they are connected definitely in series. So for that purpose we are seeing the properties of this series circuits and parallel circuits. So today we will stop for today's class. So thank you for listening this class. So thank you very much. Thank you. Goodbye all.